pressure to, one, produce as many fours as possible so that you get more, students coming your way the next year. I'll give you an example. When a school comes out with, let's say 30, 40, 50, 60 fours, guess what? When it is admitting new students, you're going to see droves of numbers of children being taken in that school. But also, you have to look at it this way. It is business. And we are in a free market economy. We can, we literally control what goes out there in the way we run our business. So if I want more students, I'm going to put more pressure to ensure that I have fours. But then for me, I'm like, okay, fine, that's okay. Then do it the right way. You do not have to involve yourself in examination malpractice, because when that happens, and in most cases the parents actually don't know, no parent signs off for a school to go ahead and involve itself in malpractice, because you know what? At the end of the day, if examinations are cancelled, these parents and their children are going to suffer the brunt. The children are going to have to repeat P7, and then this is more money that is spent. So you're going to cause emotional trauma to the parents, emotional trauma to the children, financial loss to the parents. So parents do not want that. If you want your fours, well, it's all good, but do it the right way. But because it's business, because it is pressure, private schools find themselves involving themselves in malpractice, examination malpractice. But Jerome, for me, what I like, it's that the number of people that are being arrested and charged because of examination malpractice is reducing. Last year, we were following the examinations right from PLE up until to A-level examinations, and the cases of malpractice that were reported by UNEB were fewer than the previous year and even the previous years. So UNEB, whatever it is doing, they're doing good work, and probably schools are getting into the business of steering clear of examination malpractice. So I look forward to a day when we won't have that. But Jerome, I don't know if in the statistics you've seen the number of those whose examinations were cancelled. Do we have that?
No, in fact, I had mentioned 16 suspects, but I'm seeing 68 suspects of those who have so far been arrested over their involvement in examination malpractice here. And as I look for those that have had their exams held. But you know, at times it doesn't paint a good picture for schools who are involved in these examinations. But my worry, Olive, is always for the pupils or students.
Yes.
Because now their future is in the hands of these people, and at the end of it all, they are either going to drop out of school or they are likely to repeat. And
already we have statistics indicating that the children who join P1, the number drops by the time they sit P7, and the number further drops when they sit senior 4 and then senior 6 and then joining campus. So coming in with malpractice tendencies is costing our children so much, because in some families they had to get to sell everything or to sacrifice so much for this child to sit P7. Now they are waiting for examinations, and then they learn that after all the sacrifice, after all the time, they cannot get their results back because the school decided to involve itself in malpractice tendencies. I think there has to be more done in terms of bringing these people to face the law, the ones that are arrested over malpractice, and probably that can paint a picture for whoever may be thinking of doing it in later years to come. There is also the case of Jerome, schools that have always performed so well. I know a school that has always had like 450 candidates, and you'd find that maybe 150 of these have fours. This year it has 0 fours. And in as much as our focus shouldn't be on fours, it still begs for the question, what
because
changed?
This is our grading rate.
Exactly. What's changed? What's going on? What have they been doing? Hopefully they haven't been. I've not heard of a malpractice case over there, but you know how these things move. But
then also the other constant, Olive, is the fact that we still have some absentees. The number of those that were registered is not the actual number that sat.
Over 7,000.
So again, it brings us back to questions of why do people drop on the way? And it happens a lot.
Yeah. Now, there are certain cases. One, some schools still have the habit of stopping students from sitting their examinations because of school fees arrears, which the government, on which the government has pronounced itself and said this is wrong. You should let the students sit their examinations, but you can work with your NABE not to release their results until they clear. Right? So there is that case. But then we also have to look at the areas where some of these people that didn't sit their examinations are. You may find that in some areas they were destabilized by, let's say, natural disasters. We had natural disasters around the time your NABE was, churning out the exams, where in some areas there were floods. You saw students seated and their legs were all in water, basically. So there is that, natural disasters, and maybe some, they fell sick, and others, many reasons really.
And of course, in the same regard here, I've been looking into some reports in regards to the pressure, and it takes me back to this comment that Derek shared, that there are some students who also drop down, for example, fainting in examinations. And I've been reminded of the days in our schools where, as we are heading into the examinations, where a teacher would, tell you certain things just to scare you or intimidate you. Remember, you're going into the finals. You want to get confidence to sit the exams.
And then
you don't want to feel like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
But someone tells you about, if you fail, for example, if you cannot make a first grade, this and this, this and this. And by the time you enter the examination room, your mind is not settled, meaning you're either going to fail or you're never going to pass according to what you're expecting also.
Well, that's concerning. And for me, there is the pressure that comes from the teachers. To a degree, you would understand I don't know, maybe the way it is communicated needs to change. But Joram, there is pressure from parents. I've ever read an article where a lady said her child got 5. And the father told the child, tell your mom to show you who your real father is, because in my family, we do not produce academic drafts. Meanwhile, this child had gotten 5 aggregates, but the gentleman had been an excellent performer all through school, and everyone in his family the same, but even the mom had been an excellent performer. But then this child came out with 5. So the pressure we put on our children, like, children, be scared, what will my parents say? And I know as parents we are supposed to expect the very best from our children, but we also have to leave room, for wiggle. Like, if someone gets 8 aggregates, it's not the end of the world. I remember one of my former CEOs in a place I used to work, very high end, he had a pass degree, right? And Mrs. Senabria just said, the ones who get 4s are not usually the ones who get first-class degrees. But even when we go to campus, the ones who get first-class degrees are not usually the highest performers in places of work. That's why a majority of them stay in universities to teach, because they're very good at academics, but sometimes they're not really good at the work. So we need to leave room for wiggle. The parents, the teachers, the pressure is too much.
Okay.
What do you call it? There is a slang.
But as I remember that, I wonder, Ole, from your experience as a parent and as of a candidate before, after the exams are out.
Yeah.
I do know we have parents watching, and we do have parents who are now having their eyes on where they're taking their children to. Because remember, there is one thing, you want a certain school, the other, the performance of your child, the third, the cutoff point. So everything is supposed to be marching in the same direction for everything to work. Oh, inclusive of the finances or your financial muscle. So let's turn our focus there, Olive. As a parent, as we're summing up, what kind of situation can one be in at this time? If you just take us back into that moment, exams are out, now it's time to look for the schools. The cutoff points are a bit scary at times. but you have to take your child to secondary?
Okay, when it comes to me, my child got 4 aggregates, so getting a school was not a problem. The problem was the money. Have you seen how much schools are charging for a child to join senior 1? Some schools are charging 3.5, 4 million, 5 million, depending on where you're taking your child. But for most parents, you're not going to spend less than 2 million to join a secondary school. So if you're to ask me what parents should prepare for, you should prepare your purse strings. There should be the money, but also for us, the results came out during COVID. And for me, this is what I did, Joram. The government had not yet told us when they're going to open up so that we know when the selection will happen. So what I did, I looked for another very good school that is private. They already had given out how to apply online. So we went online, made applications. So by the time the government did its selection, this school had already called me and said they have given us a vacancy. All we had to do was, make some payments. So I didn't bother with the selection. But then for the parents that want to join maybe King's College Budo, Namiriango, those who want to go to St. Henry's College, and many of these schools, right now you should be on borders. Ruben told me when he was looking for Rachel's school, he was on a border to go to Nabingo. You get, so right now you're supposed to be going to the schools and ensuring that your child gets, no, the selection has not yet started, but the minute it starts like this, you should be able to start moving. Now, if your child did not get the 4s, you should be looking at the other schools that can take the aggregates your child got already, like right now.
Okay. And of course, the UNEP did set the starting time for first term for the senior ones, that is those who start P7, to be February 17th, 2025, according to the Minister of Education, Janet Kataham Seveni. And then also the selection dates are up for 30th and 31st of January. Hey. So for the parents, next week it is for you to go out there and see whether your child fits into the docket of what the school they dream of or they aspire to be in.
But Jeremy, if I'm to say something, one last small thing.
Okay.
If you do not get into that school, it's not the end of the world, right? I would like to pick some words from Mr. Senablia. The most successful people sometimes didn't go to these schools, okay? It's beautiful for them to join. I mean, some of these schools have the most brilliant alumni and whatnot. But if your child doesn't get there, Uganda is full of so many good schools. So find an alternative school. Me, I always have a plan A and a plan B, not a C. We stop at plan B. And this year, I'm also a parent of a candidate in senior 4, so...
Well. And that does it for a bit of the conversation this very morning. 3 minutes to the top of the hour. Thank you very much for being part of the conversation. Someone here wanted to know something about the statistics. A simple breakdown here for you is that looking into the results according to UNEP is that a higher proportion, that is 91.8% of candidates who sat the primary living examinations in 2024 passed. Now, out of that, 444 pupils registered for the examinations, with which 786,981 sat for the exams across 10,463 centers that were registered. But there was a 1.3% of those that were absent or that didn't make it to the finals of the PLE. But in the same regard, the boys outperformed the girls in regards to the general performance, although the girls performed better in the English language, as always, says this report here.
As always.
As always. So, on top of that, that does it for the conversation. When we return after the top of the hour, we have more exciting bits of the show. So, make sure to keep it Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public.
from the various sources, such as inspirational profiles.
Having disability is not inability.
Every Friday 9 p.m., it's one-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for?
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah, yo, baby, don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the MyMTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Welcome to Good Morning Uganda, your go-to morning show to kickstart your day with all the latest updates.
Let's dive deep into issues that matter most to you.
In a world of stories waiting to be told, the headlines are your guide. Navigate the currents of news and knowledge with our daily updates of newspapers. Stay informed, stay empowered.
From the roar of the crowd to the thunder of victory, witness the drama unfold with our sports updates. Whether on the field or in the stands, join us as we celebrate the spirit of champions.
Rise with Good Morning Uganda, weekdays from 6:30 a.m.
Join us on Sunday, January 26, 2025, as Uganda celebrates the 39th anniversary of NRM Liberation Day. This momentous occasion marks the day when the National Resistance Army or Movement, NRMA, took over power, led by President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The celebrations will take place in Mubende District at Mubende Teachers College grounds under the theme 39 years of NRMA, salutations for those who re-sanctified our homeland. Don't miss the live broadcast on UBC TV as we honor the sacrifices and achievements of the NRMA, a day to reflect on Uganda's journey towards peace, stability and prosperity. Tune in on January 26, 2025 and be part of this historic celebration.
Protecting your money is as important as earning it. It is for this reason that the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda, DPF, was established by the government of Uganda to provide deposit protection to customers of regulated financial institutions. In the unlikely event that your commercial bank, credit institution or microfinance deposit-taking institution fails, the DPF will pay you up to 10 million Uganda shillings. Keep your personal information such as national identification number, mobile phone or an alternative bank account updated with your banker. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, contact DPF at Aha Towers, Plot 7 Lodell Road, Kampala. Call 0312-206-400 or visit our website at www.dpf.or.ug.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources such as inspirational profiles.
Having a disability is not inability.
Professional guidance.
There is no special antiretroviral therapy that is given specifically for discordant couple.
And of course, politics.
Don't you see anywhere that you would give a credit in the fight against COVID?
My role as the owner of the country is not to, be preoccupied by giving credit to my servant.
We have said that if we are to talk to General Museveni, there must be certain conditions in place.
Is it true that you paid 5 million shillings to MPs that voted for Anita Monga Ntayebo?
That is laughable. Why would we pay when we have nominated them as SEC?
The Conservative Party has been represented in Uganda's parliament for 10 years. We only by one MP, you yourself, and my daughter, Susan.
Every Friday 9 p.m. it's One-on-One with Michael Jordan Lukomwa on UBC TV, inspiring Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.